So without further ado, we have 11 to get through. They're short, they're sharp. Please give them your attention. Some of them are quite nervous. Up first, Emma from 50 Media.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Following along a theme of data, we are a world obsessed with big data. And in the words of Todd Yellen, you have to take out all the rubbish from big data and find the gold. Age, gender, and even location may be relevant, but what people are interested in and what they focus on is key to monetization. 50 Media is a technology company that takes an innovative approach to a traditional survey. It enables mass queries on mass scale, but insight at a granular level. We capture fan-based data to map and understand audience, to drive advertising and business strategies. This is a map of Cancer Research UK's followers on Twitter and all of their interests. An audience of 250,000, which scales up to roughly 10 million users and over 1 billion connections. We are working with CR UK's innovation team, who are using the findings to validate their existing partners and ambassadors, and to identify new ones. Celebrity and charity are two big interest areas, not a big surprise. However, we have identified one of their biggest interest areas to be fashion, department store, and grocery, a potential new high-value pool of partners. We are discovering the undiscovered, illustrating the value of an existing network. We are also working with Red Bull International to help them understand their social networks and how to best utilize them. We make sense of the data and help you to monetize it. Social media today is about a race to relevance. Understanding data and analyzing target audience goes hand in hand with content curation and distribution. We collect, map, and analyze data, then strategize, action, track, report, and listen. We work with leading global brands, delivering high-value performance marketing, interrogating real-time and historical data to identify target audience. Through the creation of segmented advertising campaigns, we facilitate conversation, engagement, and growth into target audience, transforming social platforms into sales channels and driving results. This is just a taster of our services. I'm here tonight and tomorrow, and very much look forward to following up. Thank you.
Very good. Great job, Emma, and maintaining the quality of shoes started by this morning's bunch. Well done. Up next, Rezonence. Rezonence have created a new advertising proposition which uses engagement to solve ad blindness, viewability issues, and ad fraud. The stage is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. We have two products. We're the market-leading UK counter-blocking technology. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about Freewall, the product that is monetizing digital content. It's taking the best of the paywall. It's really simple and remains open access. But most importantly, it helps the three key stakeholders. Those are consumers, publishers, and advertisers. Consumers, we're looking to build a world where a consumer on their favorite websites, magazines, and newspapers will only see one ad, our Freewall, once a week. No other ads. Forget the 10 ads you're seeing on the page at the moment, just one ad a week. So a superior experience for the consumer. For the publisher, we're increasing their ARPU, their average revenue per user, by 10-fold. At the moment, the Mail Online, for example, makes 30p a year per reader. We think we can make more than £3 per reader easily. And we're already doing this across many UK publishers. So that's the theory. Let us show you a bit about what we do. And by the way, the IAB agrees with us. What we do is we use the power of a question. So you find an article that you want to read at one of our premium publishers. As you're going down, we have an ad mid-content. There are no other ads, and you won't see another ad for the whole week. You answer the question, taking only 2 seconds to release the rest of your article. But in doing so, for the advertiser and for the agency, you've proven that not only were you a human being, that the ad was fully in view, 100% in view, but you actually understood with the brand message and were able to communicate that back by responding to a question. And more than that, this is literally just like school and university. By interacting with content, by answering questions, you transfer information from your short-term to long-term memory. It is just as simple as school, but highly, highly effective in only a microsecond conversation. So this is all very interesting, but on a really boring level, we can actually move from the out-of-date CPM model that has existed for the last 10 or 15 years of the web and move to buying humans, a cost-per-human model. And if you look at the old CPM model, and then you remove the fraud, and the viewability, and then the ad blindness, for that 1,000 impressions that you purchased, you're probably only reaching 130 people. Where with Freewall, 1,000 engagements, frequency capping at once per reader, per campaign, actually means you're reaching 1,000 people. So the efficiencies are greatly increased for the advertiser, creating what we see as a win for the advertiser, a win for the publisher, and ultimately for the consumer. One ad a week is a real win. We're already across most of the UK. We're launching into the US and Europe, depending on which advertisers are taking us there. And the people I'm keen to meet are agencies and advertisers. Thank you very much.
Well done. Very good. Very good. Stick with it, keep your energy up. Remember, you're voting for your favourite at the end, so hopefully you'll stack ranking in your head. That's what I'm doing. Thank you, that was good. Up next, Flux Media. Flux is a creative technology production partner that collaborates with brands, creative and media agencies to produce adaptive, performance-driven campaigns.
Thank you. Hello, my name's Liam from Flux. So, in a world where contextual relevance is absolutely critical in every advertising channel now, it's staggering perhaps to think that over 95% of digital out-of-home signs, such as this one, still show exactly the same content as their paper and paste counterpart. So Flux works with brands and agencies to add that layer of contextual relevance, and with it bringing an extra 50% in terms of brand awareness and sales. So just to give you a really simple example, quite early on we worked with Greggs, which is a national UK bakers, if you haven't heard of them, to run a weather-activated campaign. So really simple, you don't want to be advertising your picnic deal when it's pouring down with rain, and it is England, so that happens quite a lot. So we would call that an environmental activation, and they can be as simple or as complex as you like. I'm going to touch upon the BA lookup campaign, which wasn't us, but demonstrates just how creative you can be, which, as you probably know, showed the child pointing at the planes as it flew across the sky. We also do performance activations, so we can take high-performing content from easily measurable channels, and use that to inform the content on the out-of-home screen. We work alongside the media and creative agency from the beginning to try and bake measurable metrics into the creative itself. And you may perhaps have done these types of campaigns before, you'll have probably seen them before, but the frustrations come in the cost, the lead times, and the overall effort in running these campaigns. With our technology and what we've built allows you to do these easily, very quickly, and more cost effectively than ever before. So with that, I would really like to speak to anyone who's interested in enhancing their out-of-home offering. And please, if anyone is interested, you can go to fluxmedia.co/FOM to get this deck and a little more information from me as well. I'm well under time, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let that slide stand a little longer. You can do that right now if you want.
You get extra bonus points for doing it before time. Thank you. Thank you, very good. Up next, EverThere. EverThere helps you generate leads from live events you can't sponsor, attend, or don't even know about. I'm fascinated.
Thank you. Great. Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm from EverThere. So, there we go. Oh. We all know that conferences provide a great business opportunity. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. But conferences are time-consuming, and time is money. But once you do a great conference, you just take that success and you do it again and again, and no, it's not scalable. every conference is different, every booth size is different. It's a lot of effort and a lot of money. So we set a successful event. What does that mean? How do you measure ROI on an event? What are the KPIs? It's very difficult. These are challenges that we all face. Enter EverThere. We are taking event marketing and we have turned it into an online channel where you can generate leads at events that you don't actually attend or sponsor. And all this is on a performance basis. Like any online channel, you set your targeting, and our system automatically connects you and your offer to relevant events. What does it actually look like? The experience, this is the attendee experience. It is branded to the event. They receive an email from the event organizer asking attendees to open the digital swag bag. They see a combination that's usually about 70% event sponsors and 30% are advertisers that aren't actually at the event. Then the attendees, just like Tinder, you swipe left, you swipe right. At the end, they leave their email once. They get a summary email of all the offers that they opted into, and that's the end of the attendee experience. But I said we create leads, we don't create emails. We then take those emails and we enhance them to turn into a full profile. You also receive our nice analytics, showing you how many people engage with your brand and how many actually opted in and left their email. You can then export this to any CRM or sales tool, and you can do what you want with those leads. So, does it work? Yes. We have almost 90% of event attendees actually use our platform. It's not an app, they don't need to download it, they just click on a link because it's mobile web. On average, compared to event apps, these numbers, you can't even compare them. And we have about 24% conversion to leads. What you see when people who have a booth at event is usually between 10 to 16% engagement. So again, this is really revolutionizing the event industry, and all this you're paying on a performance basis. This year alone was our first year. We've already reached almost 4 million attendees. As years go on and we work with more event organizers, we're adding more and more events, and we hope to work with all of you. We think that this is a great opportunity to help the brands that you work with as agencies, first of all, use this disruptive technology, and second of all, get access to events that you might not have already decided to sponsor or attend. Thank you.
Excellent, very good, and a new leader on my own private shoe stack rank. Next up, Meetrics. Meetrics provides real-time KPIs on viewability, ad fraud, brand safety, and audience.
Hi, my name's Anant. I look after international business for Meetrics. I guess one of the themes from today, well, some of the themes from today have been around trust, transparency, viewability, ad fraud. One of the top priorities for ISBA, the voice of the British advertisers, is actually viewability, so I'm going to focus on that. It's a challenge. From our latest benchmarks, we see around 42% of ads not being seen. It's getting better. It used to be 50, so we're kind of going in the right direction for digital, but there's still a lot of work to be done, and that's using the definition of 50% of the area for 1 second. But we think that with time, and when viewability becomes also a currency, which has happened in some markets like Austria, that there's some improvements that can be really made with brands. So when we're looking at this graph, we can see that if an ad, a display ad, is seen for 10 seconds, you usually get a 200% ad recall. And then we also see that if it drops, there's an overexposure, there's also a decline. So the sweet spot is basically between 10 and 15 seconds. So we have a lot of clients using viewability technology to basically look at efficiencies, to find those placements that are really performing well in terms of seconds. We work with clients throughout the ecosystem. That's quite important, that we're measuring publishers, activity that's going on, agencies' works that they're doing on programmatic, and also tech vendors and auditors that we work with. So it's a big challenge, but I'm going to show you, hopefully, within a minute, if this works and the internet is behaving itself. Right, so we have a browser here. If you haven't seen the tech before, Hopefully you can see the leaderboard at the top of the page, and this little area here is just for our information. As we scroll down, you'll see the percentage is actually changing, and it goes red as soon as it goes less than 50% of the area. And now the skyscraper is viewable. If we go to a different tab, it stops the timer, we go back again, it starts again from where it's left off from. If you open up an application, it also stops. So we think that this is a big topic, but there is ways to sort of get rid of this headache by working with companies like ourselves. In terms of the message, really, when you're looking at attention, if you master the attention, you'll master intent, and therefore we think that attention really counts.
Very good. Very good. Well done. The observant amongst you will notice we've got rid of the cowbell in favour of a buzzer, which is much more brutal. Up next, Emily from Seenit. Seenit helps organisations co-create video with their employees and brand ambassadors from around the world. Emily.
Awesome. Cool. Awesome. Hey, I'm Emily, and I'm the founder of Seenit. Social media today has completely changed the way that people consume and interact with content, and especially video. People consume it so much faster. They want to be part of a story, feel like they're part of the narrative. It's more like being involved in a conversation. So the traditional ways of creating videos got to change. Previously, it's high budget. It can be very expensive to put together. It can also be very polished, and people want to now watch content that they trust, that they feel feels real. So what we do is we bring audiences and their own communities of brands together to create. So this is about brands activating their own communities of fans, employees, experts, to actually become the content creators themselves. By bringing the people who are already the most passionate and knowledgeable about the brand itself into the creation, it already has a much higher impact on the viewing and engagement. I'm going to show you a quick video, and this has all been captured through the platform on phones. You'll see stuff from journalists to athletes and employees as well.
Tell me now, and show me how.
Boys getting prepped.
It's the best thing in the world. Second to get married.
Mission accomplished.
So how does it work? We set our clients up with their own private online studio in the middle. You can then load in filming direction into your own video capture app. This means as a client, you're receiving exactly the video you need. All of the legals are signed off in the app, and everything is tagged and transcribed on upload, so it arrives in the studio. You can then easily review, edit, and share the content straight out online, being so much more reactive and relevant with your storytelling. And you're bringing in the people who are most likely to share and engage and feel valued because of it. So we're working with brands such as the BBC. I'm sure some of you guys have, or maybe don't want to admit that you watch Gogglebox. But we're putting clips of the shows in the app and then distribute it out to people all over the UK, getting reactions, opinions, feedback. Because it's filmed on the phone in their room, the footage we're getting back is so much more emotional and emotive. We've also kitted out all of the Body Shop employees, the experts, to film how-to videos, product reviews, makeup tips, and we're collecting with them now globally, got the app in different languages, and are producing much more reactive video online.
Very good. Excellent. Very good. Perfect timing. There's that word again, trust. Thank you, Emily. Up next, I/O, intelligent optimization. I/O uses machine learning to prospect for new audiences at scale.
That's right, just one slide, mostly. So what is I/O? What we're not is just another DSP. You've heard lots of DSPs. What we do is next generational. We have technology beyond anything that was even capable 2 years ago. We're able to find brand new customers using moment marketing, using very, very deep level of machine learning to pull together data and find moments of intent in real time. This is not guessing what your audience is going to respond to. This is learning in real time. If I take you through how it works, we pull data, real-time data from all kinds of sources. We also look at the microenvironment of that user. So it may be the web page they're looking at, the device they're using, all kinds of different points of data for every single ad opportunity across an entire exchange. We have a profile for that user. We then have some of the most complex machine learning capabilities ever devised. And this considers that profile, considers which environments that profile has responded to, or that type of profile has responded to in the past, microenvironment and macroenvironment, and comes up with a price for it. We bid, or don't, depending on how many bids we're going to make, and we serve an ad. But more importantly, we do all of this completely transparently. So not only do we find your audience and learn about your audience, we give you the insights about your audience as well. We have a very, very complex insights tool which allows you to drill in, understand from those macro and micro environments all of the data about that individual, about why we bid for them, whether, it's an example I think someone gave earlier was, you sell umbrellas when it's raining, which is great if you're selling umbrellas, but if you're selling credit cards, what weather affects your users, and does it affect your millennials in the same way as it affects your rich or wealthy? This machine will help you understand that in real time, and will actually allow you to sell ads to the right people at the right time in the right environment, looking for signals of intent. So that's me. I've got 20 seconds left, so I will tell you where you can find out more. Thank you.
Thank you. Just 3 to go. Let's keep the energy going. Up next, IQ Wi-Fi. IQ Wi-Fi is a hotspot cloud software that enables data capture. No, sorry. My mistake. Calm. Sorry. Up next is Miappi. Miappi lets brands take back control of their social media content.
Sorry, that's all right. I can do the IQ Wi-Fi pitch if you prefer, but I'll go with the Miappi one. I'm Andrew Foyle from Miappi. Good afternoon. What we're about is we're a social amplification platform. We talk about bringing your customers closer, because what generally happens is when you do stuff out on social, only about 2% of it actually gets seen by your customers. That's either because it's disappeared down a timeline, or by the time they actually come on board, something like Facebook isn't even showing it to them because it thinks it wants to know more about their family than it does about brands. So what we help our clients do is bring all that fantastic content that's being out there back in intelligently, back into assets they own and control, so that they can get better engagement with their customers. So how do we do that? We do that by basically giving them really simple tools, really easy to use tools to embed it back into websites, into apps, to put it back onto digital out-of-home screens. This is a couple of examples of clients that we've been working with. British Airways had a big event last year at Heathrow where they wanted to really get engagement with all their not fans, but their frequent flyers that were coming along, who they really wanted to turn into fans, in effect. The problem was they had a hashtag. They'd done it before at events. They didn't get much traffic through the hashtag because what happens, you post, it disappears into the ether. Using our platform, they could automate the whole process of making sure the best content was displayed on screens at the event. They had 20,000 people, 4,000 posts, really, really pleased with it, huge engagement. They were able to send all this out to people after the event and continue the event, even for people that hadn't been there, or after they'd actually come along the next day, they could engage with all the really great content. And it was all very authentic content. I know a lot of people are using that word, but it was all very real stuff. Similarly, 3, they wanted to bring content into their stores. They used us to drive screens in 220 stores. Another example, and it's actually, I know someone else was talking about cancer research earlier. We've just done a campaign with MediaCom and Exterion and Blow Up Media, screens like this, back in February. And this was bringing all this fantastic user-generated content back onto screens to show people how people were engaging with their Unite sort of campaign, and it was very impactful. It went down very well with cancer research. A lot of engagement, a lot of people buying the Unity bands that they were selling. Really pleased with it. This is all done by a really simple, easy-to-use dashboard. It gives you analytics on usage. It lets you decide and moderate what's going to be shown, what's not going to be shown. It's why people like Sony Music like it, because they can use it for all their bands. So it really, really makes life really easy, and that's the main reason why clients are coming to us, because you can apply simple intelligence, and these are the sorts of people we're working with. Currently, we'd like to work with a lot more. I'm hoping there's quite a few of you in the room that would like to work with us. And the stats, we've just done some research, actually, stats are showing that 82% would say they would acknowledge a brand if it said they'd put content on their site. Rather than just reposting it, if it had been used, that would make them much more likely to buy from the brand. Over 40% said they're more likely to buy. I've got 3 seconds left, so I'm going to stop before I hit the buzzer. Thank you very much.
Very good. Apologies for the misdirection. Up next now, IQ Wi-Fi. IQ Wi-Fi is a hotspot cloud software that enables data capture, direct marketing and social engagement while giving you valuable insights to your customers.
Thank you. Hello. We're IQ Wi-Fi, and in essence what we are injecting intelligence and revenue via Wi-Fi. So currently, if we look in the real world and what the online world is, when we consider back in the 90s, you had websites where you had a counter and they said, okay, we had 10,000 people hit our website today and we made this much revenue. And what that was the analytics. They didn't know where they came from or who they were. And then what came out was Google Analytics, and that's what we have today. So what we've done now with IQ Wi-Fi is we take it into the real world. So when you consider your favorite retail store or shopping center, they have a door counter, for example, with Topshop. They have 5,000 people walk in and whatever, and they engage and they sell this many t-shirts and shirts. What we do is that we formed a new channel in communication and understanding of customers. So a venue can now understand and say, we had this many people walk past our store, this many people walk in, and everybody in this room right now have a mobile in your pocket, and within that, that's giving out a MAC code, and that can give us insights about where you walk, what you do, how often you come here, where you've been in this festival, and then when you log in, we log in via social media to create the Google Analytics and demographical insights. So IQ Wi-Fi is a Google Analytics for the real world. The blind leading the blind. We're based in Dubai, and the UAE market in retail spending will reach 200 billion dirham next year, and only 7% of the actual Wi-Fi have any form of analytics. So we have all these people spending money and no analytics and no channel being drawn from that analytics-wise. So we're cloud-based. We work with over 34 hardware providers, so this venue and this hotel, we could have that up and running today, or every McDonald's in the world seamlessly. Social media interaction, big data, subscription model, and also what's probably more engaging for you in this room would be that now we can serve adverts over Wi-Fi and use the MAC codes and unique IDs of those devices to know about conversions. So the online, what did they do? Did they then convert in the real world? And walk into that, and how engaged were they? Where did they go in Topshop, as I mentioned? We also use the data sources, DMPs, ad networks, turning this into a potential revenue producer from that utility bill, loyalty cards, point of sale, Internet of Things. We really feel that this is a future, and we're trying to do the biggest land grab as possible, focused on the Middle East, Africa and India. What it looks like, so the actual screens, the dashboards, we can give a demo to any point if anybody's interested. And then within the login, within 2 clicks, we can have you logged online. Facebook likes, we did it with Coluccio's, increased them massively, things like that.
Thank you. So last 2, stick with it, and then we're going to ask you to vote at the end. So keep in mind your favourite so far. Penultimate pitch from Scoota. Scoota is a single programmatic platform that enables advertisers to create, activate, measure and optimise brilliant brand campaigns at scale.
Perfect. Hi guys. Scoota is a programmatic creative technology platform focused on trying to improve the quality of digital advertising for brands, for media agencies, for publishers, but also importantly for users. Especially in the programmatic world, users are often forgotten about. The current creative experience is pretty nasty often. with very aggressive, salesy creatives being used to try and grab users' attention, often ugly creative, usually irrelevant, and most often, 9 times out of 10, lacking in finesse or sophistication. So, not surprisingly, users don't like this. So what can we do? We can either continue down this route and try and force them to like it, or the Scoota approach is to figure out how do we use smart, interesting creative to try and grab the user's attention and try and create some kind of value exchange. Now, rich creative on its own can still struggle to cut through in a cluttered space, but we've seen that when you apply data, activate programmatically, the results can be really impressive. So our kind of core proposition is about how do we combine creativity and programmatic to kill bad advertising. So how do we do this? And we've talked about before, there's a big disconnect between the ad tech and media community and creative. So our focus has been building the technologies and tools to allow these parties to work together. But we also understand that not everyone's ready for self-serve. So we need a team of people who can help support, advise, and guide them along the way to create genuine partnerships, which for us is working with media agencies and trading desks to enable them to activate rich brand formats programmatically. But they want to do that on great sites and through any SSP or technology they choose. And we work with creative agencies and brands to help build their creatives or give them the tools to be able to do it themselves. So from a technology perspective, we have our own creative toolkit, demand-side platform, reporting and analytics suite, with the aim of being able to produce work that people will want to spend time with, will want to look at, beautiful, interesting work that people will watch, engage with, and take some kind of action. The results so far, it's early days still, but we're seeing results that are 10 to 50 times the market average. And what we've seen is, I think, going back to that first point around people not wanting to see ads, people don't dislike advertising, they just dislike bad advertising. We work with some great brands, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. Thank you.
Very good. And last but by no means least, Sortlist. Sortlist know the agencies you need to know.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. I'm really delighted to be here to explain you what I do. So at Sortlist, it's pretty easy. What we do is basically, we know the agency you need to know. So let's give you a bit of context about what is Sortlist all about. So during the years, we've observed very banal stuff about the marketing industry and what's happening. And we thought it's really crazy that it takes so much time to find the right agency. Really, it takes weeks, hours of calls to outreach all the agency you want to work with. So, and with this new industry getting as many data as we know nowadays, and that can be accessible in a blink, how come that brands like Coca-Cola is looking for an agency in the same way than a local barber shop? So we've decided to change the game, and we've created Sortlist. So basically what we do is that we match company directly with the perfect agency fitting the profile. So it's a free service for brands. So how it works, let's take an example. We did with Zespri, so the kiwi fruit company, maybe you know it. So basically they came to us with a need, they posted a project on a website. We started to talk and to make sure the briefing was clear, the need were really well defined, and we start to create a selection out of this briefing. We select 10 agencies matching perfectly what they were looking for, and out of them, only 5 was able to introduce themselves because they were available, they were really looking for to work on this project, they were really passionate about what Zespri was willing to create. So magic happens, they found love, they met Guts and Glory, and now they're working for the 3 coming years. So as you can notice with this simple process, with technology, we have a spare hours, weeks of research for Zespri team. So what is the team behind this process and this community that we are building? That's the team I found. We are based in Brussels and Paris. We have done this more than 2,000 times across different countries. And the total value of the project we've already sent to our agency network, it's value around the 40 million of euro, excluding media budget. And what we are aiming for is that, as you know, the Uber is the biggest taxi company owning no vehicle. Facebook is the biggest, most popular media company, no creating any content. And at Shortlist, we are chasing to be the largest marketing service provider owning no agency. So if you want to be part of it, just send me an email. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you very much. So now this is where the magic happens. Can we put up the URL again? We need you guys to vote for your favorite that you've just seen. This is real-time audience participation. We're very dependent on the Wi-Fi, so I apologize in advance if this doesn't go well. The URL there is pollev.com/emerge FOMG. Please log on and vote for your favorite. Is this working? Yeah? Good. Whew. 30 seconds. The tension, I can't bear the tension. Twenty seconds. Five seconds. This may not come up on the big screen. We've had some technical issues, but we're done. So, drum roll. Do we have a drum roll? No. Hang on, I'm going to come down there. Yeah? You sure? Yeah. Okay, so the winner is IQ Wi-Fi. Congratulations.